This light ignites an idea worth swarming. I believe that we can make the world a brighter place. I believe that we can make a change. Thank you for being here to share that with me today. Sharing my thoughts, sharing my idea, sharing my beliefs, sharing energy, sharing renewable energy. So I will talk about sharing renewable energy. We call it swarm electrification. My name is Philipp. I'm the leader of a very motivated and committed team in Berlin, Germany. The company is called MicroEnergy International. And before looking into the future, I want to invite you to look maybe something like 100 years back. So 100 years back, for the man on the moon, the world might have by night like this. Darkness all over. And now, try to imagine there was a very interesting invention those days. You have any idea, 100 years ago, what was invented? Something very special, something like a light. Who knows that? What is it? Of course you're right, the light bulb. The light bulb was invented by, who knows it? Wow, amazing. Well, so I'm at the university, I got that already. Edison invented the light bulb. But basically not only the light bulb, electricity was needed for this. 100 years ago, he invented electricity for the light bulb so that now everybody has light. Okay, nowadays, 100 years later, how does that look like? So we have light all over. 100 years ago, the people paid to run such a bulb per unit of electricity, something like, you could say, a Big Mac. A vegan, fair-traded, organic Big Mac, of course. You could say double the price. All over, where these people live now having light, nowadays, they pay per unit of electricity, something like a chewing gum. Nowadays, it's much cheaper. But there's one problem still there. That's what you might see here. There are still dark areas. And in these dark areas, people are still using this kind of lights, for example. They're using batteries for lights, torches, candles. And this is very expensive. So you could say per unit of energy, any idea? The Big Mac, yeah. Organic, fair-traded, vegan, sure. Okay, so the problem now is, what about these dark areas? I would like to invite you to a journey I did 10 years ago. 10 years ago, with my background of being an engineer for renewable energy and energy economics, I thought I want to go to a country that is far from here in one of these dark areas. Bangladesh. I guess everybody knows Bangladesh. For some reason it's famous. So when I went there, I thought I want to learn about the problems there. And this is the reality in Bangladesh. People don't have access to electricity, to the grid. They're still using these kind of lamps or other sources that are available, small sources, car batteries, for example, torches, as I said. So for me it was interesting that I heard about Bangladesh in a very special sense. In Bangladesh, nowadays, there are solar panels being used. What kind of paradox is that? You see, one of the poorest countries in the world using one of the most expensive technologies. That didn't make sense to me. What about this solar panel? Try to imagine you live in such a small hut. And here, there's a solar panel, and there's the sun shining. And maybe you are Marietta, who lives in that house with her family, and you use that solar panel to generate electricity and store it in a battery. And this battery you can use for bringing electricity to the light bulb of Edison. Now you have the sun in your house. Marietta now is using the sun with a solar panel, generating electricity and having light in her house. One company in Bangladesh is doing something very special about this now. This company is called Grameen Shakti. Grameen is the Hindi word for, wow, I'm impressed again, village, you're right. And Shakti, very international people, wow. Power, right, or energy. So you could say the name means village energy. So energy for the villages. Grameen Shakti actually is an affiliate of the Grameen Bank. And the Grameen Bank, so far, is well known because the Grameen Bank received in 2006 the Nobel Peace Prize for bringing microloans to rural areas in Bangladesh. They're very effective with that. And in the same way, they found that energy solutions are needed in the field. So they founded Grameen Shakti as an affiliate, and now Grameen Shakti offers these solar panels to rural areas based on microloans so that people can afford it. I have a question to you. Do you have any guess what this could be? Okay, you might think these are the sales of solar home systems, maybe. Oh, these are the sales of mobile phone descriptions so far in Bangladesh. 100 million. But to be honest, 150 million live in Bangladesh. And what is this? So these are the so far existing landlines. People could have waited until they all get landlines, or, leapfrogging and saying, okay, we go for mobile phones. Next question to you. Any guess what this is? Ah, you're right. You saw it. 2.5 million nowadays have been sold in Bangladesh. Solar home systems. These solar panels from Marietta. And we're expecting soon in the next 2 years that we'll reach to 7 million. So think about what people are doing now in their houses. For example, Marietta. She's using her mobile phone. And of course, every mobile phone only works if you have electricity, beside the fact that you need network coverage, of course. She's using a solar panel now, running her mobile phone. But to be honest, still, she cannot run much more than a few lights in this mobile phone. Because this system has limitations. A solar panel, as she has installed it, is quite small. And this is the point, where you need to see that she hasn't yet any grid connection. So the grid is not there. Why? Why is there no grid yet? Because it's very expensive to extend a grid to the house of Marietta. And of course, because it's that expensive, it will never happen, even though there are a lot of promises that this shall happen. the last mile to reach out to these houses is so expensive that none of these people can afford it so far. And that is now the point where my idea that I want to share with you starts. Let's get back to my drawing. Marietta's house. Marietta's house is here with a solar panel, and Marietta, with her family, she has also friends. One of the friends, is Julietta, of course. Who else? Julietta, living in the same village close by, has also a solar panel. But Julietta doesn't have yet a family. She wants to marry Romeo. And now she wants to celebrate her wedding. And for that, she wants to run a real party all overnight. And she needs a lot of light, she needs a lot of music. So that means she needs her solar panel with a battery. But she needs more than this, because I said already, it has limitations. So Marietta said, of course, for your party, I will give you my battery so that you can use actually for your party. Have you any idea about these heavy batteries? This is tremendous. Marietta cannot carry this battery to Julietta. So why not connecting those both households with a line? And now Marietta can share her energy with Julietta and she can run her party. And of course, Julietta, she is one of those having a lot of friends in the village, So why not? They all could, for this party, share with her the electricity they have. And the party can go on. And all the next days, maybe, there are also others living in the village that might not have yet a solar panel, but not why getting also access to electricity. And maybe in the same village, somebody has something like a diesel genset, a diesel generator. You could also connect it to that grid. And there's maybe also a small wind turbine. You could connect it. They build a grid. And maybe not that far away, there's the main grid. And now, they could also get connected to the main grid. First, Marietta has a solar panel. Second, she's going to get interconnected with her neighbors and friends. And third, they're getting connected to the main grid. Marietta made herself connectable to the future. This is bottom-up electrification. And now try to imagine that there are much more than these villages. So people, might have, as Marietta and Julietta, these kind of systems, and more around there as well. They're all now getting connected. This is what we call swarm electrification. And how does that look like for the man on the moon? In 100 years, pursuing an answer for the future. Swarm electrification can make the world a brighter place. Let's swarm together. Thank you.